Yeah. Fired up. This one's for the drivers.
Out in the shop, late night lights, grease on our hands, chasing lap times. Every turn, every line we find, trying to build that edge you feel when you drive. From the blacktop tracks to the dirt out back, we've been putting in work, yeah, we live like that. Not just fast for a lap, we make it last. So when it counts, you're gone on the gas. We don't guess, we know what it takes. Every set of build from the ground we break. If you want that feel when the car locks in, you're in the right place. Let's go in. Yeah, we built for the win. Hammer down, let it ride, do it all again. From the green flag flying to the checkered drop, we're the reason you're leading Tier 1 setup shop. Tier 1, take it straight to the front. League nights, open runs, we're the ones you want. Dialed in speed, yeah, we don't miss shots. If you wanna win races, Tier 1 setup shop. Got weekly sets ready to roll. Quality trim sharp, race pace controlled. Builders in the lab, yeah, they stay on it. Every tweak, every change, we gain on it. Need a custom fit, yeah, we do that too. Built to match your style, what you like to do. And it ain't just speed, it's a team right here. We ride together every lap, every gear. Yeah, we test, we tone, we put in the miles. Turn bad weeks into victory smiles. From rookies to pros, we're all about growth. Now fight that motor, let's get to the front. Yeah, we built for the win. Hammer down, let it ride, do it all again. From the green flag flying to the checkered drop, we're the reason you're leading Tier 1 setup shop. Tier 1, yeah, you know the name. When the pressure's on, we bring the game. From the shop to the track, yeah, we don't stop. If you wanna win races, Tier 1 setup shop. Tier 1. Till we build, till we build, till we build. Tier 1 setup shop.
Looking to take your racing to the next level? You need speed and you need style. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we'll help you hit the track with total confidence. We provide race-winning setups for all three eNASCAR series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks, plus a huge variety of asphalt oval cars. We've also brought that performance to the dirt. Winged and non-winged sprint cars, micro sprints, dirt midgets, all built by racers who know how to win. And now, get the perfect look. We offer professional wraps and graphics with Tier 1 wraps. Multiple feature artists make it easy to find a design to fit your exact needs and budget. Get what you need when you need it with individual setup purchases, or get full weekly access with a Tier 1 subscription. Tier 1 Setup Shop. You're more than a customer, you're part of the team.
This isn't just another sim race. This isn't just another online league. And this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tier 1 Studios. My name's Pat Wilkinson. Up in the booth, joining me tonight are the voices inside my head alongside my good friends, myself and I. as we rejoin the Wild West Racing League ARCA series here at Daytona International Superspeedway on the iconic 2.5-mile oval out here tonight. 35 feet above sea level, 60-mile-an-hour pit road speed limit, 67 degrees in the air and on the track, 1-mile-an-hour wind from the north. Out here tonight, currently Blake Cuttrell with the fastest time out here tonight at the moment as we get ready to head over to qualifying in just under 5 minutes time. Somebody doing some burnouts. Blake Cuttrell doing burnouts at the end of pit road into the entry of turn 1. Getting out of the way for somebody as they went on by. Apologies. Going over to Brighton Coleman, Scott Rush, and Mike Presley. 4 cars running in tandem with each other down the short chute and back into turn 1. Trying to get some good old drafting practice out at Daytona. They are all going to need it out here tonight. Certainly eludes me as how many laps we are going to be racing. Minute 30 seconds left to go in practice out here tonight at Daytona International Superspeedway. Timmy McDonald and Mike Daugherty, the last 2 cars out on track at the moment. Everybody stopped on the bottom of the racetrack, not entirely sure why. We wait to head over into qualifying. Heading over into qualifying now. Mike Presley with the fastest time. Scott Rush and Blake Cutterell running out of the top three. 47.936, the fastest time here in practice out here tonight at Daytona International Superspeedway as night begins to fall. Let's see who's brave enough to take the track first. Tanner Ensign be among the first onto the track in the WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast number 44, ARCA Menards Chevrolet. This broadcast is brought to you in part by WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast, the Stanford Witt Foundation, Redline Radio, and Raiders Wasteland, the premier DayZ experience on Xbox, veteran owned and operated. Raiders Wasteland offering something for every gamer looking to survive the zombie apocalypse. Weekly events for PvE and PvP players in different maps for all to enjoy. Join the Discord today at Raider PvE. This broadcast is also brought to you in part by Rock Bottom Racing, Tier 1 Wraps, Tier 1 Setup Shops, and Tier 1 Studios here on YouTube. 44. Winding that thing up. Down the backstretch into turn 3 we go. Through the tri-oval we go. Tanner Ensign with his first flying lap out here tonight at Daytona International Superspeedway. Down the short chute and into turn 1 we go. Through turn 1 into turn 2, all the way down on the yellow stripes. Down the backstretch we go, trying to keep the momentum up, down into turn 3. Into 3 and 4, right across our curb cam, I guess you could call it. Apron cam, that's the word. Down the short chute, into the tri-oval we go. Tanner Ensign with an opening lap. 51-1 behind Scott Rush and Brighton Coleman, currently down to third. Hopefully now that he's fully up to speed, he'll get a little bit of extra time out here tonight at Daytona as we charge off a turn 2 past the exit of pit road and the Sunoco fuel sign. Down the backstretch into turn 3 we go, really trying to keep the speed up in the number 44 Chevrolet. Into the short chute we go, all the way down to the yellow lines once again. Tanner Ensign across the start-finish line. Does he improve? He does not improve position, but he improves his time. 0.084 behind the leader. Scott Rush still leading the way. Bringing it to a stop. Keith Ayers all done. Brighton Coleman all done. Dakota Henderson off of turn 2. He might be all done. Nope, that's off of turn 4, excuse me. And across the start-finish line we go with Dakota Henderson in the number 5 car. Does not improve. Marcus Kaiser at the bottom of the racetrack. Ooh. Joe Wells out now in the number 3 Good Wrench machine. Off of turn 4. Might also be helpful if I do this. I keep forgetting to do that. My apologies. Past the start-finish line, Joe Wells up to third. Michael Loveless up to second. Justin Bell out on the racetrack. Mike Presley also out on track now. Gavin Daughtery, Nick Daughtery, and Mike Daughtery yet to qualify. And Ashton Hayward yet to qualify as well out here tonight at Daytona. Mike Presley up to 5th at the moment. Waiting on Gavin, Nick, and Mike Daughtery and Ashton Hayward to set a qualifying time out here tonight. We come to the final minutes of qualifying here at the modern configuration of Daytona. Repaved by some good friends of mine, actually, my dad's. As qualifying comes to a close, we head into the race itself. Take a look at your active grid. Scott Rush, Michael Loveless, Joe Wells, Keith Ayers, Mike Presley, Brighton Coleman, Gene Watkinson, Dakota Henderson, excuse me for that, Tanner Ensign, Trey Smith down in 10th. Jumping to the remainder of the field, Justin Bell, Marcus Kaiser, Timmy McDonald, Blake Cuttrell, Mike Daughtery, Ashton Hayward, Gavin Daughtery, and Nick Daughtery down in 18th. Me obviously going to be starting in the booth and staying there most likely, as we have 50 green flag laps of racing out here tonight here with the Wild West Racing League at Daytona International Superspeedway for some good old superspeedway racing. Gonna be a great night, I hope. Couple cars receiving late penalties. We wait on everybody to join the grid. Waiting on Mike Daughtery, at least. We are waiting on Mike Daughtery at the moment. Come on, Mike. Apologies if I'm a little quiet tonight. Long day today. I'm going to hopefully have a better night tonight. After bleeding over, I think it was 3/4 of an I rating, of a safety rating, excuse me, today, in the Dirt Road Series, trying to up my license, and then got a 12X in the Pro Trucks, and then I literally got rolled over and given a 6X for a wreck that wasn't my fault, and the guy deliberately ran me over to have happen. And somehow it gives me the X for it. But hey, whatever. Scott Rush, Michael Loveless, Joe Wells, Keith Ayers, Mike Presley, Brighton Coleman, Gene Watkinson, Dakota Henderson, Tanner Ensign, Trey Smith, Marcus Kaiser, Blake Cuttrell, Nick and Gavin Daughtery, Ashton Hayward, Tanner Ensign, Timmy McDonald, and Mike Daughtery at the tail end of the field. We roll around through turns 3 and 4, or turns 1 and 2, excuse me. Down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 we go, ready to go racing out here tonight under the lights here at iconic Daytona International Superspeedway. Pace car's lights are off as the field rolls on by as we look at it from apron cam. Thunder rolling off of turns 3 and 4. Pace car getting ready to dive down pit road. Green flag, green flag, green flag is in the air. We are racing out here tonight at Daytona International Superspeedway. 04 of Scott Rush did not get the start he wanted, getting pushed all the way down the short chute, down into turn 1 by the number 3 of Joe Wells right behind him. 19 to Keith Ayers hot on his heels with the Michael Loveless in the 68 on the high side. Whoa, 111 down to the bottom of the racetrack already onto the apron. There we go. Gene Watkinson in the 111 getting a little bit of assistance down to the apron off of turns 1 and 2. Not quite sure what happened there as we rejoin the leaders. Scott Rush and Joe Wells leading the way, 19 of Keith Ayers. Right there behind him, Mike Presley and Michael Loveless side by side off of turns 3 and 4. Dakota Henderson and Brighton Coleman, Trey Smith and Blake Cuttrell and Marcus Kaiser behind Smith on the high side. 3 of Joe Wells does not want to be behind Scott Rush anymore. Lap 2 of 50. 3 up to the high side in front of the 68, 4 and 51 and the 42 on that high side. We get a little bit of gyro cam action up in here tonight. Watching the 3 on the high side get a bit of a run down the backstretch. Trying to keep that momentum up. 3 stuck in the middle, trying to slide back down in front of the 04. Off of turn 2, down the backstretch we go. 68 up to the lead at the moment. Michael Loveless in the lead of this race out here tonight at Daytona. Start jumping a little bit further into the grid. Let's go down to Timmy McDonald in the number 2, a little bit further back. Despite the fact that he is in the number 70. 18 of Gavin Daughtery all over his bumper, 44 of Ensign, and the 8 of Justin Bell just ahead of him. And the 44 really fighting it out in front of him. 2 and the 18 right behind him. 44 being a little over aggressive for trying to work with his teammate. We go through turns 3 and 4 just ahead of Timmy McDonald, Gene Watkinson, and Nick Daughtery at the tail end of the field. Mike Daughtery out on the racetrack very far behind. Keith Ayers starting to fall back a few positions. Joe Wells back up to the lead with Trey Smith, Marcus Kaiser, and Blake Cuttrell. All 4 GLM Motorsports cars up on the high side, running away with it off of turn 2. Down to the backstretch we go. 4 of 50 this time by. All 4 GLM cars trying to work together as best they can. Nothing wrong with single file, tight pack action. Just the fact of you got to be careful with how hard you block and how hard you defend. Working together as teammates is always a good plan, but it is always a well laid out plan until first contact with the enemy, which is time. Time can only tell as they slide directly across the 19 and the 68 of Keith Ayers and Michael Loveless. Back down into turns 1 and 2 we go. Something along those lines anyway for the saying. My apologies if that's wrong. Let's jump down to Brighton Coleman at the moment. 04 right behind him with Scott Rush. The 4 and the 04. Down through the short chute and the tri-oval we go. Back down into turns 1 and 2. 3, 51, 42, 48. Running the top 4 for Brighton Coleman. And the 68 of Michael Loveless right there behind him. Scott Rush and Mike Presley. Keith Ayers all the way to the back. 4 all the way down below the yellow lines out here tonight. Let's jump down to... that's not far enough. Okay, I guess we're going over to Justin Bell. Dakota Henderson slowly reeling in. Keith Ayers just ahead. Running in a bit of a world all on his own. Maybe not. Justin Bell in this group catching up to Dakota Henderson now. Henderson blocking the low side right in front of the 8 and the 44. 44 going straight on around him. Trying to make the high side work. 5, 8, 2, 44, 18, and the 99. Down the backstretch we go again. 5-8 to 18, 19, 99, and the 44. Tanner Ensign, Nick Daugherty, and Gene Watkinson still working the back out of the field. About 10 seconds behind the leader, Joe Wells still leading the way. Mike Daugherty, half a lap down, 30 seconds behind Joe Wells. Wells just down through the short chute, off the tri-oval. All four GLM cars still leading the way. Three of Joe Wells with the 51 of Trey Smith, 42 of Marcus Kaiser, and the 48 of Blake Cutwell. Down into turns 3 and 4 we go again. Jump up to that tower. Let's see if we can get some telemetry going, see how fast these guys are going. Fourth gear, 7,250 RPM at 189 miles an hour through the tri-oval. Apologies, folks, I'm a little stuffed up and not doing the best today. Apparently, not my shining day. Happens. Three of Joe Wells leading still off of turn 2. Couple cars looking to get some clean air behind them. Can't quite make the magic happen. We jump down to Mike. No, we're going to jump down to Timmy McDonald. 3 wide for just a moment there. For the lead, 2 of Timmy McDonald all the way up to the high side. 3 wide again with the 18 and the 99 in the middle. Whoa, 2 of Timmy McDonald blinking in and out of existence up into the wall. Thankfully, no caution. We jump over to Tanner Ensign. Caution is out. Trey Smith has crashed. .351 and 42. 51 of Trey Smith off of turn 4. Gets punted by the 42. Sent sliding across the infield of the short chute just before the tri-oval. Huge damage to that number 51. Joe Wells leading the way. Marcus Kaiser up to second after accidentally punting his teammate off of turn 4. Blake Cutwell, Brighton Coleman, Michael Loveless, Scott Rush, Mike Presley, Keith Ayers, Gavin Daugherty, Justin Bell, Ashton Hayward, Tanner Ensign, Dakota Henderson, Timmy McDonald, Nick Daugherty, Gene Watkinson, Trey Smith still rolling around the racetrack, and Mike Daugherty all the way at the tail end of the field at the moment. Trying to catch back up to the remainder, to the cars at the front of the pack. First caution of the night here at Daytona International Superspeedway. This broadcast was brought to you in part by WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast, the Stand for Wit Foundation, Redline Radio, and Raiders Wasteland, the premier DayZ experience on Xbox, better known and operated. Raiders Wasteland offering something for every gamer looking to survive the zombie apocalypse. Weekly events for PvE and PvP players in different maps for all to enjoy. Join the Discord today at Raider PvE. This broadcast was also brought to you in part by Rock Bottom Racing, Tier 1 Wraps, Tier 1 Setup Shops, and Tier 1 Studios here on YouTube. Rolling back around through turns 3 and 4, Nick Daugherty up to the lead, up 18 positions. Joe Wells in second, Marcus Kaiser, Blake Cutwell, Brighton Coleman, Michael Loveless, Scott Rush, Keith Ayers, Mike Presley, Tanner Ensign, Justin Bell, Gene Watkinson, Trey Smith, Ashton Hayward, Dakota Henderson, Mike Daugherty, Gavin Daugherty, and Timmy McDonald down in 18th place. At the moment, we roll around through turns 3 and 4. Pace car's lights are off. 25 of Nick Daugherty on the point for the restart, choosing the bottom. Joe Wells on the outside. Marcus Kaiser, Blake Cuttrell. So Wells will have a teammate behind him. Brighton Coleman, Michael Lovelace, Scott Rush, Keith Ayers, Mike Presley, Tanner Ensign, Justin Bell, Gene Watkinson, Trey Smith, Timmy McDonald, Dakota Henderson, Ashton Hayward, Mike Daugherty, and Gavin Daugherty all down pit road this time. Pace car's lights are off, ready to go racing once again out here tonight, here at Daytona International Superspeedway. Repaved by John S. Lane Asphalt Incorporated back in 2010. Couple cars trying to warm up their tires once again. 42 all over the bumper of the 25. So we continue rolling down the backstretch behind the pace car. Through turns 3 and 4 we go. Everybody settled back down, ready to race. As we wait for the pace car to dive on down pit road. There it goes. Nick Daugherty on the point for the restart. Into the restart zone we go. Through the tri-oval. Green flag, green flag, green flag is in the air. 25 didn't go. Forgot the downshift as the 3 and the 48 on the high side take off. 42 and the 4 all over his bumper. 040 and the 8 also behind. Down into turns 1 and 2 we go. Whole entire of the high side of the racetrack just blew on by him. 25 failed to get going out here tonight. Whoa! 3 Joe Wells around. Down to the grass. No caution. What a save by the 3 of Joe Wells as he falls all the way down behind Gavin Daugherty, hoping to try and keep some speed going. Blake Cuttrell in the 48 up to the lead. Just behind is Michael Lovelace. One of the drivers in the league so far off of turn 4. 19 in the 25 duking it out on the bottom with the 4 and the 04 behind him. 44 and the 42 with the 111 on the top. 25 getting out of line. Got to be a little bit careful with that. Do not want to be pushing 3 wide through the tri-oval. That is one of the bonehead moves of all time, as we have witnessed multiple times before. Down the backstretch we go. 48 of Blake Cuttrell still leading the way. 68 of Lovelace all over his bumper. One of only... No, that's actually Marcus Kaiser in the 42, excuse me, is the only Toyota out here tonight. Michael Lovelace going his normal Toyota setups and going into a Chevy. Whoa, 44 around into the 68 and turns him again. Huge one. It's the big one through the tri-oval. Caution is out. Oh. 44 of Tanner Ensign. So we're going to have to rewind this a little bit here. So this is off of turn 4. I don't know if the 42 kind of got into the 44. Looks like he may have, yeah. 42 kind of assisted the 44 into the 68. Tanner Ensign still trying to recover it. Clips the bumper again. Still sliding down to the bottom and just destroys the 68. And then just carnage ensues. 42, 25, 44 completely wrecked. 111 in the middle of it. 68. Whole slew of cars through the grass. The 2, the 0, 4, 51 all the way down to the apron. 0 of Mike Presley also in the middle of it, getting amazingly around it, but had to hook a hard right to get around the 42 and the 111, destroying that car against the outside wall. Just a little bit of everybody got involved with that one. Huge crash out here tonight at Daytona. Second caution of the night. Everybody down pit road, literally everybody down pit road. 48 with a splash and dash once again out here tonight. 19 also right there with them. 48 and the 19 side by side off of pit road. The question is, who got it? 48 of Blake Cuttrell gets it. Keith Ayers in second. Justin Bell, Scott Rush, Brighton Coleman, Dakota Henderson, Trey Smith, Timmy McDonald, Gavin Daughtery, Tanner Ensign, Nick Daughtery, Mike Presley, Gene Watkinson, Ashton Hayward, Mike Daughtery, Joe Wells, Michael Lovelace, and Marcus Kaiser still both down pit road. Marcus Kaiser just leaving the pits now. Michael Lovelace still down pit road. Marcus Kaiser managing to get back out. Gavin Daughtery and Mike Presley both down pit road once again. Gene Watkinson, Mike Daughtery, and Ashton Hayward also down pit road again. Michael Lovelace just leaving pit road just in the nick of time. Pace cars lights are off, ready to go racing once again out here tonight with the Wild West Racing League ARCA League. Brought to you in part by WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast, the Stanford Witt Foundation, Redline Radio, and Raiders Wasteland, the premier DayZ experience on Xbox, better known and operated. Raiders Wasteland offering something for every gamer looking to survive the zombie apocalypse. Weekly events for PvE and PvP players in different maps for all to enjoy. Join the Discord today at Raider PvE. This broadcast was also brought to you in part by Rock Bottom Racing, Tier 1 Wraps, Tier 1 Sit-Up Shops, and Tier 1 Studios here on YouTube. My name's Pat Wilkinson, up in the booth. Rolling off a turn 2, Blake Cuttrell, Keith Ayers, Justin Bell, Brighton Coleman, Trey Smith, Dakota Henderson, Timmy McDonald, Joe Wells, Scott Rush, Tanner Ensign, Nick Daughtery, Marcus Kaiser, Mike Presley, Gene Watkinson, Mike Daughtery, Ashton Hayward, Gavin Daughtery, and Michael Lovelace down in 18th. Pace car is off. Up towards the restart zone we go. Green flag, green flag, green flag is in the air. Let's see who gets a better restart this time. 48 did not get another good start. 8 of Justin Bell, that's who it is. Taking a bit of evasive action, trying to get underway here. 19-4 in the 51 on the high side. 70 all over the 5's bumper just behind the 8. On the bottom of the racetrack, 3 in the 51. On the high side in 3rd and 4th in line. 44th, the Tana Ensign, also on the high side. 51 going 3 wide across the top with the 19 and the 4 below him. Got to be really careful with this. 3 of Joe Wells going with the 51 into turns 3 and 4. 3 wide battle for the lead out here tonight at Daytona. 44 looking to push the middle. 19 very unstable off of turn 4. 4 gets into him. 4's put him all the way down to the grass. 48 shoving him all the way down. 3 up into the wall. Everyone managing to keep things straight. The approach just shy of halfway out here tonight with the Wild West Racing League. 48 falling down to about 6th place at the moment. Trey Smith up in the lead with Joe Wells right behind him. 19 of Keith Ayers right there as well. 44 Ensign a little bit further back. 48-5 in the 8 on the bottom behind Brighton Coleman in the 4 stuck on the high side. 44 in the 19 up to the high side for the lead. 8 gets turned and destroyed by somebody in the back of the field. Caution is out. Justin Bell, 25 in the 4. Huge damage. Come on, thank you. 4 just completely roundhoused the 8. Nothing they could do about it. Clipping the 0-4. 25 with nowhere to go. Just completely plows into him. 3rd caution of the night. Huge damage for Justin Bell. Brighton Coleman and Nick Daughtery both getting towed back to pit road. Third caution of the night. Keith Ayers up to the lead. Trey Smith, Tanner Ensign, Joe Wells. Blake Cuttrell, Dakota Henderson, Scott Rush, Timmy McDonald, Marcus Kaiser, Mike Presley, Gene Watkinson, Mike Daughtery. Ashton Hayward, Gavin Daughtery, Michael Lovelace, Justin Bell managing to get back out on the racetrack after a monstrous crash. Brighton Coleman and Nick Daughtery both still getting towed down to pit road. Everybody coming back in again. Unless by some miracle Justin Bell stays out this time to take the lead of the race. He's all fixed up with a fax repair. If he can beat everybody back off of pit road, he's going to need to be one hell of a race car. Nope, he's coming on down pit road this time as well. Keith Ayers off pit road first. Blake Cuttrell, Joe Wells, Trey Smith, Tanner Ensign, Scott Rush, Dakota Henderson, Marcus Kaiser, Mike Presley, Timmy McDonald, Michael Lovelace, maybe. Hang on. Timmy McDonald, Gene Watkinson, Justin Bell, Michael Lovelace, Mike Daughtery, Ashton Hayward, Gavin Daughtery, Brighton Coleman, and Nick Daughtery all still down pit road. Justin Bell back out on the racetrack down in 12th. 48 of Blake Cuttrell. Taking a bit of initiative. 3 of Joe Wells. Give him a little bit of the fender. Ashton Hayward off of pit road this time. Mike Daugherty also off pit road. Pace car's lights are off, ready to go racing for the 4th time out here tonight. Joe Wells giving a bit of a shot to the 19. 51 in the 48 on the high side. Michael Loveless trying to do the Lightning McQueen, get out of pit road just ahead of the pace car. Huge damage on the number 68 Chevrolet ARCA machine. Just managed to do so. 50 Shades of Lightning McQueen out here from Michael Loveless. I didn't even care if he sped off a pit road to get that done. He was going for it. I like that. Keith Ayers, Blake Cutterell, Joe Wells, Trey Smith, Tanner Ensign, Scott Rush, Dakota Henderson, Marcus Kaiser, Mike Presley, Timmy McDonald, Gene Watkinson, Justin Bell, Mike Daugherty, and Ashton Hayward both down pit road again. 68 of Loveless, still trying desperately to get on past the field. That car completely skewed as we roll down the backstretch. Gavin Daugherty just ahead of him in 15th at the moment. Up to 13th as they go on past pit road. Mike Daugherty and Ashton Hayward both going on ahead as well. 68 of Loveless trying to put the pedal down as much as he can to get back ahead of that pace car, get it back down to pit road, fix whatever's left that he can make happen. Pace car getting ready to dive down pit road this time. 3rd caution of the night. Couple of cars stacking up at the back of the field. Pace car diving down pit road, rolling up towards the tri-oval and the restart zone we go. Green flag, green flag, green flag is in the air. We are racing once again. 48 with another terrible start. On the outside, 19 to Keith Ayers did not get a very fast start either. 48, 51, 04 on the top. 19, 3 in the 44 on the bottom. 3 of Joe Wells trying to go up to the high side with 2 of his teammates leading the way down into turn 1. 48 of Blake Cutterell trying to go down to the bottom. 2 of Timmy McDonald up into the wall off of turns 1 and 2. Still stuck up against them. 48. Whoa! Keith Ayers with a huge run off of turn 2, giving a good old shot to the 48. 51 and the 44, 3 wide behind, around him, 48 still trying to keep up. Trey Smith in front of Keith Ayers. Through turn 4. 44 Ensign in the 48 of Blake Cutterell off of turn 4. Side by side down into the short chute. 27 laps to go this time by. Through turns 3 and 4. Whoa, 19 around in front of the whole field. It's the big one, part 2. '19 of Keith Ayers gets sent around in the middle of turn 3. Joe Wells giving him a good old shove into turn 3. All over the bumper of him. Let's just slow it down a little bit here. Keith Ayers trying to keep things rolling. Gets a bit of an extra shot from the 3 of Joe Wells, coming straight across the 48's nose, collecting the 51-44-04. Might have gotten Brighton Coleman. No, they didn't. Mike Presley involved. Dakota Henderson involved. 111. Aw, that was cheap. iRacing got the 111 for no reason. That wasn't fair. Gene Watkinson didn't deserve that out there. 56 of Mike Daugherty. 2 of... who's the 2? Timmy McDonald, because they're in the 70 tonight for some reason. 99 of Ashton Hayward, and I believe that is the 18 of Gavin Daugherty as well. Another batch of freshly destroyed cars for Daytona International Speedway out here tonight. Couple cars down pit road. Keith Ayers back up to the lead. Joe Wells down pit road. Justin Bell, Dakota Henderson, Marcus Kaiser. Mike Daugherty, Trey Smith off of pit road this time, I believe. Yep, Trey Smith off of pit road. Fourth caution of the night coming to a close. Keith Ayers to the end of the field, I believe. He may have a pit road penalty for coming across the racetrack too soon. Justin Bell up to the point. Dakota Henderson, Marcus Kaiser, 51 of Trey Smith, currently in fourth. Blake Cottrell in the 48. Brighton Coleman catching up now. A lot of cars still trying to work their way back around the racetrack, get back into position to go green out here tonight at Daytona. Fourth caution of the night. Back through turns 3 and 4. Pace car's lights are off. The rest of the field still has not yet really caught back up yet. 56 of Mike Daughtery back in formation. Timmy McDonald just rejoining. 468.04. All right, everybody's starting to catch up now. I'm not sure if we're going to extend this caution by one more lap to make sure everybody gets caught up and back into position before we go green. Base car is off. Green flag, green flag, green flag. 23 laps to go. Out here tonight at Daytona, everybody trying to get settled back in and finish out this race. Otherwise, I have a distinct feeling we might not be finishing under the lights here at Daytona, as everyone will have been wrecked. .551.8. Ooh, big move from the 42 and the 48 onto the outside of the racetrack, trying to make the magic happen. Down into turn 3. Whoa, another big one. Justin Bell completely wrecked out. Again, caution is out. 5th time tonight. The short shoot, the 2 completely wrecking him. Getting into the 18. Believe he also caught Brighton Coleman. No, he didn't. Who was that he hit? He pummeled somebody. I don't even know who that was. So we're going to watch it again in quarter speed this time. We're actually going to go up to TV1. 04. Yo, he did hit the 04. Whilst in the air, he destroys the 18.99 on the bottom there on the apron. Managed to get around him. Huge hit for the 8 and the 04. Spun around by the 2 of Timmy McDonald. Very unfortunate series of events out here tonight at Daytona. Getting towed back to pit road. 51 of Trey Smith, now your race leader. Joe Wells behind him. Marcus Kaiser, Blake Cuttrell. Keith Ayers, Dakota Henderson, Timmy McDonald, Ashton Hayward, Brighton Coleman, Tanner Ensign, Michael Lovelace, Gavin Daughtery down pit road, Mike Daughtery staying out. Scott Rush, Mike Presley, Justin Bell, Gene Watkinson, and Nick Daughtery might be out. Watkinson and Nick Daughtery might be out, excuse me. Yep, Gene's out. 25 is still on the track down in pit road. Everybody back down pit road again out here tonight. Trey Smith leading the way into pit road. Let's see if he can make the perfect pit stop happen. Hopefully for just a splash and dash for this number 51 car. Perfectly into his stall. Yep. No, he's actually taking tires. Interesting situation here. Couple cars staying out on just gas. Ashton Hayward will be the race leader in the number 99. Keith Ayers, Blake Cuttrell, and Dakota Henderson next off of pit road. Trey Smith looking to be the next one off. Fifth caution of the night. Ashton Hayward going to be on the point for the restart. Keith Ayers in second. 99 down below the yellow. He's going down pit road. Must not have enough fuel to make it. 5 of Dakota Henderson also down pit road. Keith Ayers back up to the lead of this race. Blake Cuttrell will be on the outside for the restart. Trey Smith behind the 19. Michael Lovelace. Huh? Oh, okay. Michael Lovelace in the 68 behind the 48 of Blake Cuttrell. I was confused for a second because it wasn't showing up correctly on my side of things. It's like, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. That's the problem. Pace car's lights are off. Ready to go racing for the 6th time out here tonight. Keith Ayers, Blake Cuttrell, Trey Smith, Michael Lovelace, Marcus Kaiser, Brighton Coleman, Gavin Daughtery, Dakota Henderson, Ashton Hayward, Mike Daughtery, Timmy McDonald, Joe Wells, and Tanner Ensign last car on the lead lap. Scott Rush down a lap. Mike Presley down a lap. Believe Justin Bell may be out here tonight at Daytona after suffering a few massive crashes. Yes, he is down 3 laps at the moment. Might still be in the race. I'm not. Pace car's lights are off, rolling down into the restart zone we go here at Daytona. Pace car down pit road this time. Green flag is back in the air for the 6th time tonight here at Daytona International Speedway. 48 in the 19, 48 with a better restart on the top. 68 of Lovelace trying to run him down. 4-3 and the 0-4 behind 19, 51, 42 and the 2 with the 18 behind 44 up to the high side with Dakota Henderson behind them. Down into turns 1 and 2. 18 laps to go out here tonight at Daytona. Let's see if we can go all the rest of the way and finish this race out here tonight. Everybody trying to keep the pack together at the moment. A little bit of shifting and shimmying happening. Whoa, 3 gets shunted to the bottom of the racetrack by the 4. Brighton Coleman giving the good old quarter panel shove to the number 3 of Joe Wells off of turns 3 and 4 on the apron cam. 48 working both lanes like 50 shades of Dale Earnhardt, trying to make the most of all of the racetrack out here tonight. Past the start finish line and back down into turns 1 and 2 we go through the short chute. 51 and the 3 on the high side having a good run. 48 going up to work with them. 42 on the line once again. All 4 GLM cars on the high side. Here we go, trying to make the magic happen on top. 419, the 2, and the 44 behind them. Blake Cuttrell and Trey Smith in first and second. Joe Wells and Marcus Kaiser in third and fourth. 16 laps to go at the line through turns 3 and 4. 48 still leading the way. 51 of Trey Smith hot on his heels with the 3 and the 42. All 4 teammates trying to make the most of what's going on out here tonight. Off of turn 2 we go. 42 doing his best to block Brighton Coleman. Down in 4th at the moment. Brighton Coleman all over the bumper of Marcus Kaiser down the backstretch. 19 of Keith Ayers trying to make the magic happen on the high side. Nobody wanting to go with them. Through turns 3 and 4 we go. Huge flyby on the apron. 19 to Keith Ayers, last car of this lead crew, or lead pack out here tonight, excuse me. Michael Lovelace, the next car down in 9th. Mike Daugherty, Dakota Henderson, and Tanner Ensign further back. Marcus Kaiser falling back behind Brighton Coleman, Timmy McDonald, and Gavin Daugherty, currently down in 7th. Still up 5 from where they started. Blake Cutwell, the big mover at the moment, up 13 at the moment. Trey Smith in 2nd, up 8. Gavin Daugherty up 11, now up 10 as he falls back down to 8th behind Keith Ayers. 48, 51, 3, 4, 2, 42, 18, and 19. All part of the lead pack trying to make the magic happen. Back down into the tri-oval we go. Mike Presley lap traffic ahead of the lead pack. Whoa! Mike Presley around all the way into the grass. Tried to get around him. Mike Presley back onto the track. No caution. But I want to see that again really quick. Zero Mike Presley going 100 mile an hour slower than God and everybody else. Stayed right where the hell he was. Trying to get out of the way, or whatever he was trying to do. That was not the way to do it. Trey Smith up the lead of this race. Brighton Coleman in the 4, and the 18 of Gavin Daugherty on the high side, with the 42 of Marcus Kaiser trying to make the magic happen now on the high side. Trey Smith, Brighton Coleman side by side off of turn 2. Down in the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 we go. Coleman with a nose ahead of Smith as we go into turn 3. 48 and the 19 behind Smith, 18, 42, 3, and the 2 behind the number 4 on the high side. Not sure why Joe Wells is breaking off from his teammate Trey Smith on the bottom. 18 looking to get a little bit frisky here up in the front of the pack. Another car further up the road. .11 laps to go out here tonight at the World Center Racing. All 4 GLM cars back working together once again. 51 of Trey Smith leading the way. 42 of Marcus Kaiser. 3 of Joe Bell. 48 of Blake Cuttrell on the high side. 49 of Asher Hayward. 2. Rip, roar, and flyby. 2 trying to go back down to the bottom. Michael Loveless trying to go with him. 19 to Keith Ayers, also to the bottom of the racetrack. Get some momentum rolling on the bottom. Make some speed happen for of Brighton Coleman. Falling back a little bit. 2 and the 19 pushing each other all over Helen Creation off of turn 4. 10 laps to go out here tonight at Daytona. All 4 GLM cars in Brighton Coleman on the high side. 19 to Keith Ayers, 2 of Timmy McDonald, Michael Lovelace, Scott Rush. Oh, it is Scott Rush. He's just not in position. That's why. Dakota Henderson, my apologies. 18 of Gavin Daugherty and the 99 of Ashton Hayward on the bottom. Starting to get some speed on that bottom line as we roll into turns 3 and 4. 51 either needs to give that position up to a car that's a little bit faster than him, or continue to risk getting run all over the racetrack by this line of cars on the bottom, trying to side draft and slow them down just that little bit more as we cross the start-finish line. 9 laps to go. 51, 42, 3 in the 48 with the 4 behind. 19, 2, 68. 04, that's the one, and the 5 on the bottom. 1899 and 56 maybe. That's the 56. My apologies. Through the short chute we go. Whoa, bit of a slide from Blake Cuttrell. He cut back across the 19's nose. Little bit of a shunt. 8 laps to go out here tonight at Daytona. 51 still leading the way. 48 trying to block the 19 and everybody else on the bottom. Help his teammates get speed out here tonight. Whoa, 3 Joe Wells around. It's the huge one again for Brighton Coleman onto his hood. Caution is out. Another junkyard out here tonight at Daytona. Three of Joe Wells got caught in the middle. Let's jump back a little bit further and take a look at how that happened. So quarter cam for Brighton Coleman all the way up to the top. Gives the 3 the shove of a lifetime. Getting him mega loose into turns 1 and 2. He can just do nothing to save it. Comes across, hits the 19 and the 2. Clobbers the 4. Neck codes the hell out of him. 56, 99 involved. 18 involved as well. 4 of Brighton Coleman upside down and back over again with a Ryan Priest style wreck. 5 of Dakota Henderson involved. 99 was not lucky enough to escape it. For Brighton Coleman rolling it over again for the second time. Back out onto the racetrack. Joe Wells having to get towed back to pit road. Trey Smith still leading the way after a monumental crash, bringing out the 6th caution of the night. Here with the Wild West Racing League Raiders ARCA League, brought to you in part by WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast, the Stanford Witt Foundation, Redline Radio, and Raiders Wasteland, the premier DayZ experience on Xbox, veteran-owned and operated. God, don't know why that was so bad. Raiders Wasteland offering something for every gamer looking to survive the zombie apocalypse. Weekly events for PvE and PvP players and different maps for all to enjoy. Join the Discord today at Raider PvE, RAIDER PvE. This broadcast was brought to you in part by Rock Bottom Racing, Tier 1 Wraps, Tier 1 Setup Shop, and Tier 1 Studios here on YouTube. Another round of pit stops. Trey Smith still leading the way. Blake Cuttrell in second. Marcus Kaiser in third. Michael Lovelace, Dakota Henderson. Top 5 on the track at the moment. Tanner Ensign, Gavin Daughtery. Or Mike Daughtery, Gavin Daughtery. Down in 6th, 7th, and 8th. Scott Rush and Ashton Hayward both down a lap. Timmy McDonald, Joe Wells still down pit road. Keith Ayers down pit road. Brighton Coleman down pit road. Mike Presley, Justin Bell, Gene Watkinson, and Nick Daughtery. A lot of cars with a lot of damage out here tonight, and I am losing my voice. Joe Wells back out onto the racetrack. Pace car's lights are off. Oh, jeez. Whew, sorry about that. Dusty buildings, splitting wood, not finishing until about 2 hours ago. Yeah. 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 Rolling around through turn 2. Only 7 cars still on the lead lap. Trey Smith, Blake Cuttrell, Marcus Kaiser, Michael Lovelace, Dakota Henderson, Gavin Daughtery, and Tanner Ensign. Tanner Ensign nowhere to be seen at the moment. Trying to get back around and into the lead pack. As we trundle around into turns 3 and 4 we go. 51, 42, 5 in the 0-4 on the bottom, 48, 68. And I can't quite make out who that is, 99 on the top. 3 of Joe Wells, the yellow menace out here, after bringing out the massive one. Or at least assisting the bringing out of the massive one out there tonight. Rest of the field just barely managing to get back into the pack. Pace car down pit road this time. There we go. 6th caution of the night coming to a close. Green flag, green flag, green flag is in the air. Let's see if we can get it done now. Trey Smith off to the races. 4 laps to go. Anything at this point will beat overtime out here tonight at Daytona. 51 and the 42 teammates trying to work together, get settled back in. 5 in the 0-4 right behind 42. Very unstable, and the only Toyota out here tonight, and the only non-Chevy manufactured car out here tonight in the Wild West Racing League ARCA League. Off a turn 2, 42 still all over the bumper of the 51. 5 in the 0-4 starting to reel him in. I believe that was the 18 just sliding to the back of your screen there. 3 of Joe Wells down to the bottom of the racetrack in front of the 51. Trying to help get the draft going. 42 pushing the hell out of the 51. 44 Ensign trying to side draft. 48 of Blake Cuttrell still trying to mirror drive Michael Lovelace just behind him. 3 laps to go. .48, 68, 3, 51 in the 42, 51 42 up to the high side of turns 1 and 2. Not sure why you would have gotten out of line for that, knowing you're stronger on the bottom with your teammates around the 42. Didn't get back in line in time, stuck on the high side. 51 in the 3 behind the 68 of Michael Lovelace. 48, but just ahead of him. 68 of Michael Lovelace blocking a GLM Motorsports 1, 2, 3 out here tonight. 42 of Marcus Kaiser doing everything he can to get back up into this pack. Not going to be able to do it. 2 laps to go. 68 gives the 48 a punt down into the tri-oval. 2 laps to go, but it worked out for Blake Cuttrell, getting his teammates right there behind him. 68 of Lovelace to the high side. 0-4 a little bit down to the yellow lines. 48-3 in the 51. Through the 22 we go again, starting to pull away from the 68 of Lovelace. Off of turn 2, down the backstretch we go. White flag, white flag, white flag is in the air. 3 wide through the tri-oval, almost 4 wide for a moment. This is the battle for the end now. 51 getting run all over the racetrack by his teammate in the 42. 3 of Joe Wells. Oh, and it's the huge one again. Everybody's in. That's all the leaders. Everybody just got wiped out. Marcus Kaiser trying to run away with it. 44 Tanner Ensign might have a little more speed, trying to reel him in. Holy shit. Here we go. 42 of Marcus Kaiser managed to evade all of that. Back down into the tri-oval we go. It's not won yet. Don't let off until the finish line. Marcus Kaiser comes back around to win on the last lap here at Daytona. Tanner Ensign in second. Michael Loveless in third. Blake Cuttrell destroyed in fourth. Dakota Henderson. Oh, that was a big glitch. Dakota Henderson, Gavin Daughtery, Trey Smith, Joe Wells, and Scott Rush. What a finish. I gotta go back and take another look at that. Let's take a quick look before we go to our interviews here. All right, hang on. 51 went for a wall ride off of turn 1 here. Let's go over to TV3 maybe? Yes, this will help. So, what happened? 99 got into Mike Loveless. No, it was the 48 and the 51 got into each other. 44 helped the Cordy and the 42, 51 and 48 together. 44 and the 42 both into each other. 5 gets sent around the nose of the 3. Scott Rush nowhere to go. 48 nowhere to go. 3 nowhere to go. Everybody in the middle of it. And Marcus Kaiser just kept the throttle down and ran away with it. Out here tonight at Daytona, Marcus Kaiser, your race winner. Tanner Ensign in second. Let's get Marcus Kaiser in here. Marcus Kaiser, this is Pat Wilkinson on the booth. You got me.
Yes, sir. I got you, Pat. How you doing?
Talk us through that finish out here tonight at Daytona. What in the hell just happened?
That was one of the craziest finishes I've ever been a part of, I'll say. I just kept my foot in it and didn't lift and went to victory lane.
Well, it worked out for you right at the end there. What kind of happened? Did the 44 kind of push you into the rest of your teammates, or?
Yeah, it looked like I got a bump, and then I bumped Trey, and Trey kind of got loose up there, and it got the 48 really loose. So it's kind of unfortunate for them guys, but one of us got the victory, though, so it worked out for GLM.
Well, congratulations on a fantastic win out here tonight here at Daytona International Superspeedway with that fantastic win. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
No, that was it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you as well. Thank you.
Thank
Let's get Tanner Ensign in here. Tanner Ensign, this is Pat Wilkinson up the booth. You got me.
Doesn't know us.
I got you, Pat. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Well, I was losing my voice there towards the end. It's been a bit of a rough day on that front. But congratulations on a fantastic second place out here tonight at Daytona. Talk us through that last lap.
I knew something was going to happen. I had 10 minutes of damage still, and my car wasn't fast if I was alone. That's why Kaiser just broke away from me. I had to stay up close to somebody, and there at the end, it was whoever was the closest car to me was who I was willing to stick with. And I knew, like I said, I knew something was going to happen. Still not entirely sure what happened. I just saw cars going everywhere, and I could see the 42, the whole door number out the right side of my windshield, and I was like, oh God, if he wrecks, I got it. And me and him kind of bounced off each other a little bit. But good win for Kaiser. Great night in the points for us, especially because everybody we were battling with was pretty much caught up in that last wreck. So that helps. Yeah, I mean, it was a rough night, but a good night, all in the same.
Well, hey, one hell of a race out there tonight. Congratulations on the second place out here tonight at Daytona International Superspeedway. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Pat, Tier 1 Studios, Wow Outlaw Custom Diecast, everybody who shows up week in and week out. Yeah, makes it a blast.
Well, thanks for joining us once again up here in the booth, and congratulations.
Yep, thank you.
Let's get Michael Loveless in here, and we'll call it a night. Michael Loveless, this is Pat Wilkinson up the booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Congratulations on a fantastic P3 out here tonight at Daytona. Talk us through that last big one there. What the heck happened?
I was just going back to watch it. I was just collected in other people's mess, which is, standard for Daytona and the maturity level of the group. But, I tried to make the best out of it. It still came out with a P3. It was a wild ride. I had a nice little run going on there on the outside. Was setting things up, for the last turn, and unfortunately we didn't make it all there together. I wish we could. I think it would be great racing if we could see everybody finishing as a close pack at the end with bold moves, but without the chaos would be ideal. But we're just not there yet.
Well, you were giving them all a run for their money out here tonight again here at Daytona. You just seem to be the guy that has it at the moment out here with the Wild West Racing League, just trying to destroy the races and these folks here in the league. I am so sorry. I am so confused for some reason tonight. This is arguably one of the worst broadcasts I've had. I gotta be honest. I am so internally confused. It's like, what am I doing? Where am I? What am I?
Oh, we're here. We're doing it.
Yeah, I know, but for some reason it's not registering like that. But anyway.
No, it was a good race. Once we cleared out some things and we got a little bit of a green run there at the end, and I was happy that we were able to make something of it here at the end. And I don't even know who won there at the end, Marcus. And so congratulations, Marcus. Second place, Tanner, with all that damage that he still had on his car. And so congratulations to those guys and everybody else that was able to finish on the lead lap and was able to recover. Anybody that was able to recover tonight and make a race out of it, and maybe gain a position or a point, it's hard when we go to these super speedways. And so congratulations to anybody that was able to make something out of that.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Thanks for joining us up in the booth tonight, Michael, and congratulations on a fantastic P3.
Thank you.
Well, folks, you have yet again spent another perfectly good hour and a half with all of us here at Tier 1 Studios. I apologize if this was a subpar broadcast. I really don't know why I am just so wrecked out here tonight, but here we are. This has been the Wild West Racing League ARCA League tonight. Marcus Kaiser, Tanner Ensign, and Michael Lovelace 1, 2, and 3. Hard Charger goes to Gavin Daughtery up 12. Blake Cuttrell with the most laps led. Marcus Kaiser with the fastest lap. Nan, according to the timesheet. And Scott Rush on the pole. 6 cautions with 18 total laps in the cautions. 12 green flag changes, 9 different leaders, and we went full race length without having to go to overtime. This has been the Wild West Racing League, brought to you in part by WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast, the Stanford Witt Foundation, Redline Radio, and Raiders Wasteland, the premier DayZ experience on Xbox, veteran owned and operated. Raiders Wasteland offering something for every gamer looking to survive the zombie apocalypse, weekly events for PvE and PvP players, and different maps for all to enjoy. Join the Discord today at Raider PvE, RAIDER PvE. This broadcast was also brought to you in part by Rock Bottom Racing, Tier 1 Wraps, Tier 1 Setup Shops, and Tier 1 Studios here on YouTube. My name's Pat Wilkinson up in the booth. This has been the Wild West Racing League ARCA series, and until next time, goodbye, farewell, and amen.
Yeah. Fired up. This one's for the drivers. Out in the shop, late night lights, grease on our hands, chasing lap times, every turn, every line we find. Trying to build that edge you feel when you drive. From the blacktop tracks to the dirt out back, we've been putting in work, yeah, we live like that. Not just fast for a lap, we make it last. So when it counts, you're gone on the gas. We don't guess, we know what it takes. Every setup built from the ground we break. If you want that feel when the car locks in, you're in the right place. Let's go in. Yeah, we built one. Yeah, we built for the win. Hammer down, let it ride, do it all again. From the green flag flying to the checkered drop, with a reason you're leading tier 1. Set up shop tier 1. Take it straight to the front. League nights, open runs with the ones you want. Dialed in speed, yeah, we don't miss shots. If you want to win races, tier 1, set up shop. Got weekly sets ready, ready to roll. Quality trim sharp, race pace control. Builders in the lab, yeah, they stay on it. Every tweak, every change, we gain on it. Need a custom fit, yeah, we do that too. Built to match your style, what you like to do. And it ain't just speed, it's a team right here. We ride together every lap, every gear, yeah, we test, we tune, we put in the miles. Turn bad weeks into victory smiles. From rookies to pros, we're all about growth. Now fire that motor, let's get to the front. Yeah, we built for the win, yeah, we built for the win. Hammer down, let it ride, do it all again. From the green flag flying to the checkered drop, we're the reason you're leading tier 1. Set up shop tier 1. Yeah, you know the name. When the pressure's on, we bring the game. From the shop to the track, yeah, we don't stop. If you want to win races, tier 1, set up shop. See you in Victor Lane. Tier 1, set up shop. Tier 1. Tier 1.